Hello, Game of Thrones fans. I'm Matt, and I'm drunk. My roommate Steve left up the green screen and camera, so what's about to happen is his fault. F you, Steve.
You don't have a roommate named Steve.
God, shut up, sober me. God, I hate you always being so sober. I'm here to give you 5 reasons why Game of Thrones ripped off history.
5 reasons why Game of Thrones ripped off history.
Now, I know I'm no history scientist, but I've read like 5 cracked articles and seen Ancient Aliens at least 6 times, which is on this channel. And by this channel, I mean that channel. And by that channel, I mean the History Channel. So I know millions, and now you can too. Let's begin. Now, right now, I know all you out there are like Game of Thrones, War of the Roses, England. Well, you guys can all eat Christmas because China.
Reason 1, China.
China, like Westeros, went through a warring states period. Both were comprised of 7 kingdoms. Both were united by a foreign conqueror, Aegon the Conqueror from Valyria and Huang Di from Tibet. Both Aegon and Huang Di rode dragons into battle, and both places did some pretty cool stuff with walls. China, you've been ripped off.
According to the internet, there's no proof that Huang Di, or for that matter, dragons, ever existed.
Oh, sober me, always ruining history with facts. I forgot you don't watch this show, only I do, on Friday nights with my friend Jack. But if this guy says Huang Di existed, then Huang Di existed. Right, Jack? This guy gets me. Remember before where I was like, not England? Well, I lied. England.
Reason 2, England.
England, like Westeros and China, was also comprised of 7 kingdoms. Northumbria, Essex, Sussex, Wessex, Narnia, Hobbiton, and Compton. And like Westeros, England was united by a king with the title Conqueror. Which Conqueror? William the Conqueror, who came from the east, Normandy, across the narrow sea. The English Channel. Now, the fun thing about conquering is that you usually need people to conquer, otherwise it's just claiming. And Aegon the Claimer sounds about as terrifying as Alexander the So-So or Ivan the not such a bad guy. It's just like the Normans conquered the Angles and the Saxons, the Valyrians conquered the Andals and the First Men. Now, Andals and Angles sound similar, so I'm gonna assume they are. But for England, Saxons, and GOT's First Men, we need to delve a bit deeper. Now, the Saxons, much like the First Men, were pagans. In Saxony, a sacred tree named Irminsul was worshipped by most people, just like how the First Men worshipped whatever these are called. This tree upset invading Christians, just like how those trees upset the Andals, which began cutting them down. England with its Angles? You've been ripped off. This brings us to religion. Let's not do this, you're only gonna feed the trolls. Nonsense, sober me. When has religion and the internet ever gone bad?
Reason B, religion.
The 3 major religions in the show all seem to borrow from medieval Roman Catholicism.
For the love of science, stop now!
R'hllor is a monotheistic religion based upon the belief of an internal struggle between good and evil. The followers of this religion forbid the worship of other gods and burn heretics at the stake, just like the Spanish Inquisition. While the Faith of the Seven has a centralized male priesthood who take vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience, and also, like the church leaders of medieval Europe, were most likely the most educated peeps of their time. Editor's note, I am deeply sorry for having used the word peeps.
You haven't done War of the Roses yet, and the internet is getting bored and will stop listening to you.
The internet, much like my high school girlfriend, never listened to me in the first place. But in the interest of time, let's do War of the Roses.
Thank you.
Just kidding, Turkey and the Ottoman Empire.
Reason B, again, Turkey.
This one's a bit of a stretch, but I love it, so here it goes. Astaport's that city in season 3 that comes with the soldiers with the removable nipples. Anyway, Astapor's symbol is the heartbeat, the mythical beast associated with the city of Thrace. Thrace stood at what was once the heart of the Ottoman Empire for over 5 centuries. Astapor, like the Ottomans, was a slave culture. And like the Ottoman Empire, the best slaves were forced into the Janissary Corps, where Astapor they were forced into the Unsullied. Now, Janissary in the original Turkish means new, or pure, which are both synonyms for the word Unsullied. Now, both groups were taken from their homes as children, both were cut where it counts, in the penis, and both worship different gods from their owners. Slaves, you've been had. Oh. Slaves have been had. I'm sorry, slaves. I didn't mean it.
Can we just get to War of the Roses?
Oh, right. Thanks for reminding me. The Wall!
Reason the next one, the wall.
North of Winterfell exists a huge ice wall, presumably because ancient people had run out of hay, sticks, and bricks.
Oh! It's like Hadrian's Wall in England.
God damn it, sober me, yes it is. There is a huge wall running to north of Yorkshire that was built by a mythical empire that ruled long ago known as the Romans.
Rome was a real thing.
Don't think so, judges.
Extraterrestrial.
I knew it! The wall in Westeros was built to keep the barbarous wildlings out of civilized cities, while the Romans built their wall to keep out the Picts and the Caledonians. Now, who were the Caledonians, you ask?
According to Tacticus and his Agricola, they were red-haired and large-limbed.
What are these guys if not red-haired and large-limbed? The limb is her penis. Penises? You've been ripped off.
Just hurry up and get to War of the Roses.
Everyone already knows that allegory because of the hipsterific douche that brings it up after every episode.
I don't know anyone like that.
That is because you are the hipsterific douche. Also, the similarities are extensive and almost require their own video. But out of respect for you, I will touch on it. A courtesy not given to me by my high school girlfriend.
Thank you.
The Mongols. But you said
Season 5, Mongols.
the Dothraki are like the Mongols in all the ways that are boring. Both are nomadic horse cultures with no written language. One is led by a call, the other by a khan, and other stuff that I don't want to get into because it's far too obvious. Though there are many more examples, this is real whiskey in my glass and I'm about to lose consciousness. If you are really interested in hearing more, say so in the comment section below or subscribe. So, did George R.R. Martin blatantly rip off huge swaths of European and Near East history for artistic and commercial gain? Almost definitely. And is he still brilliant? Absolutely. There is a saying that historian and ancient alien theorists share. Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And history can be boring as to learn. So sometimes it is necessary for great storytellers like Martin to teach us our own history with different names and more full frontal nudity so we actually pay attention. It doesn't matter if we receive history lessons from amazing teachers like Miss Davis or from amazing pirated television like Game of Thrones. The important thing is that either way, it's free. I'd like to thank Miss Davis, my high school European history teacher, Cracked Articles, Ancient Aliens, Drunken Wikipedia Searches, John Green of Crash Course, of course, for being awesome. And remember, don't drink in history. Unless, of course, you are a functioning alcoholic.